Are you wondering how to create a scatter diagram in Excel? Well, you've come to the right place because today I'm going to be showing you step by step how you can create one and some formatting tips and suggestions to make sure it looks as good as it can and expresses the data as you need it to do so. Now, first and foremost, I would just like to say that a scatter diagram is also known as a scatter plot, a scatter graph, or it is sometimes known as a correlation chart. And the reason why you're looking to create one is because they show the relationship between two variables. So bear that in mind as we're going through today. I'm going to be walking you through an example of how you can build it, but I'll also be showing you how to plug in your own data if you wanted to create something a little bit more bespoke. Now, why do we need to create a scatter diagram? Well, as I say, it helps to show the correlation between two variables, so it can show root causes of problems, it can determine a cause and an effect, and if they're related, and it can also show how two effects that may appear to be related, whether they are kind of due to the same cause. So I've just put that in there just as you have that in the back of your mind as we are creating it. And I'm going to be walking you through an example now. So I've already created this. I'm just going to unhide to show you. So here is my example, and I have used two different variables that are appropriate for me as a project manager. So I'm going to be looking at the time of a project against the number of products sold. So we have a dependent variable and we have an independent variable. So the time of the project, I've simply put it in month installments, and I've also put this as a very simple data. As you can see, we're adding 5 each time, nothing too complex here, but I'm going to be changing that shortly to show you how that kind of influences the scatter graph. So to create a scatter graph, you simply need 2 columns of data. You need your 2 variables essentially. And once you have that in place, select both of the columns. You're going to click Insert at the top, and you have 2 options here. One, you can look in the chart section, and this is the chart we are looking for. I know it's there. You might obviously not know which one to use at this stage, so you might not know what to select. So you can select this one right here, Insert Scatter, or you can click Recommended Charts, and you basically get there through a little bit more of a convoluted process. So click All Charts, and you're basically selecting the XY scatter. Once you've got that, you can kind of highlight over it, and that will give you a bit of a preview, kind of expands it out what it would look like. Once you've done that, hit OK, and you'll see our scatter graph has been created. Now, this is obviously the basic layout, but you can change it quite quickly and the formatting very, very quickly by just clicking the Quick Layout button. So once you've selected, so that's obviously appeared straight away. If you wanted to find that again, select your scatter graph and then click the Home ribbon. Or sorry, we need the Chart Design tab. Sorry. So again, click the scatter graph. Make sure Chart Design is select on the ribbon, and then change the Quick Layout. So if you hover over each one, you will see it change down here of what that's going to look like if you were to select it. So as you can see, that one's very, very useful because we have the linear line, and we also have the titles. So I'm just going to quickly go through here. So this one's also quite good. You can see obviously both of the axis presented on the graph itself. I'm going to look for, there's one I'm looking for in particular, which I think is very, very useful. I think I'm just going to go for layout 10. Yeah, we're going to go for this layout. And then you've got the grid line view as well, which makes the data a little bit more legible. So once you've got that, then you can add your excess titles. I think if we go again, actually, and select the column headings, if we go Insert and we go, I'm just going to go through the recommended chart route. We're going to go for the XY scatter. And if I do change so I'll click Quick Layout, if I click here, it hasn't added the title. That's not a problem. What I was trying to do is avoid adding in the insert. We're going to go recommended charts, all charts. We're going to go for scatter. What I was trying to essentially do there was I was trying to add the titles without having to manually type them. But if you wanted to manually type them, as we're going to do here, you would simply just put in here. So this wouldn't be the time of project. That's a mistake. This should be products sold. And this would then be time of project. So you can see I've just double clicked, left click on my mouse there to get into here, and I've just changed that text with my keyboard. So you have the quick layout, what I've just done there to apply this formatting, but you do also have other options. So if you click on the format tab, then you have options such as what you can do here, for instance, is if you click on a particular part of the scatter graph, you can click format selection. And what that's going to do, oh, I should probably do that again. Format selection. Why is that not working? Oh, it's already selected. So if I select here, for instance, on this axis, the product sold, you'll see on the left-hand side, if I click format selection, and we basically, what we want to do here is we want to, no, sorry, excuse me, where I went wrong there, I was selecting the axis. I needed to select this, the numbers. So if I click format selection, what you're basically getting on here is the right hand side. You're basically getting the ability to change how the scatter graph appears. So maximum, we've got 70 at the moment. Let's say we wanted 100. You would simply put that in there, hit enter, and that was basically going to increase your scale. So as you'll see, the scatter graph's not going to go as high, but let's say we sold 195 here, then you'll see that it's enabled us to obviously get there. So just bear that in mind. You might want to change your kind of axis totals, but by default, if you're kind of creating it from a table, it should give you the maximum you need, and you can change the minimum as well. So you've got all of the options here. You can change anything from the numbers. You can change all sorts of colors, and you just work through it essentially when you get here. You can change alignment. So you've got these 4 options here, and to get there, obviously click on the axis. Now, one other thing I would like to quickly mention is if you select your scatter graph, you can, in the chart design tab, you can also add chart elements. Now, these can be really useful for the trend line functionality in particular, and I'm going to just show you what that means. Essentially is you can select the different trends that could happen on or that you want to map against. So if I'm going to put linear, you'll see that it's obviously, because I've got a linear amount of products sold, it doesn't really work. If I select linear and then start changing these, so if I put this as 20, you will see what the kind of linear progression would look like. So let's put this as, I'm just going to put this as, no, that's too much. Let's put 35, 40. You can see how it's kind of the variables are relating back to the linear progression. So if there was a linear progression, it would obviously be more like 5, 10, 15, 20. So you just see how the variables relate back to the linear, which is really useful. So I'm just going to put this back to where we were before. So there we go, back onto the linear progression. And yeah, I'd just like to kind of quickly note one other thing here at this stage, and that is I've used a dependent variable in terms of the time of project, and I've used an independent in product sold. But this could be anything, anything that relates to your project or what you're looking to create. So for instance, this could be the number of defective products, and this could be, the machine downtime in hours. So that's another kind of variables you could have and correlation that you could check. So that's just one instance that you might want to consider, or it's maybe even something like the customer satisfaction score. And this would say be, out of 10, so 1, 2, 3, etc. And then this could be something like your customer revenue. So what I'm trying to explain here is you've got different variables that you can assess against one another and then see if there's a correlation. So when customers are really satisfied, does revenue increase? I mean, you'd expect it to, but it might not always be the case. So that's just an illustration of some of the things you can do here, and use cases for the scatter diagram. Now I'm just going to put this back in, make sure we've got, if we go, basically get back to where we were before, and this is the final thing I'm going to show you here today. So I'm going to delete this and we're going to go through one more time just to show you. So select all of the data, insert recommended charts, all charts, XY scatter, and just put that over here. And the last thing I'd want to show you, and it probably is a good idea to add the trend line to show you as well if you put linear, is the different, basically what the data can show you. So at the moment, this would be, you've got a positive correlation here. So this is a positive, this is known as a positive correlation. And negative would be the other way. So we could do, you know, let's drag this down. So this would be a negative correlation. We're obviously going down. So as the project goes on, this shouldn't be this. This should be back to our original. So what did I have here? Time of project. So as the project, and this would be what did we have here before? Oh, was it product sales? I think it was product sales. So you know, as the time of the project goes on, product sales go down. So this would be a negative correlation. So, you know, sometimes you might find that in your data. And it's good to know the different, obviously, types of correlation. So I've showed you positive correlation. This is negative correlation. And then you could have something like, you know, complete random data. So this could be like this, you know, it could be completely all over the place. That's going to be, oh, yeah, 100. Let's put that in as 75. Let's put it down as 20. So here you've got, you know, there's absolutely no correlation. There's nothing. Basically what this is saying is there's no, well, it probably wouldn't work in this context, but it's basically saying there's no correlation between the length of the project and how many sales you have. That's, you know, something else to consider. And yeah, they're the different types of correlation. That's how to create a scatter diagram. I hope this tutorial was useful. The best thing you can do, as I say, is create your data first and then go insert and go on, you know, insert recommended charts, or just select from this if you're using this kind of version of Excel. I hope this was useful. Please do hit the like button if it was. It tells me I should continue creating videos like this, and do consider subscribing to my channel. I'm releasing a lot more videos like this, and I've got a lot more on creating important graphs, charts, and artifacts if you're a project manager, so do consider that as well. And with that said, I hope you have an excellent day.